So, yeah, I am here with the Tentacle Sync guys, and we're going to be talking about Tentacle Sync at the end and obviously your questions. But I first thought it'd be good to really cover uh, just a bit about timecode in audio tracks, just because it's probably quite new for some of you, maybe. And definitely, I mean, since DSLRs and lots of other things have come up with um, a different way of doing time code effectively on especially multi-camera shoots for DSLRs. We just wanted to really ask the guys and let them give you the information of why they've set up Tentacle Sync and how it actually works in terms of getting timecode into an audio track, and then the other side in the process of extracting that and a bit more about it. So if you guys want to take it away.
Okay. First of all, we want to say hello to our 11 viewers.
No, 12.
12. Okay, that's it's getting more. Yeah, and timecode on audio tracks. First of all, I mean, I want to say that timecode was, since it has been invented in the 70s, I think it's a standard that's really really long persisting, really a standard that is still in use since the 70s. I can't remember of another video standard that is still in use, or video or audio standard that's still in use today. And since it has been invented, it's the original timecode has been invented as an audio signal. We are talking about the LTC, the linear timecode, or longitudinal. I don't know, longitudinal timecode, and this has been invented to be recorded on audio tracks of tape machines.
Yeah.
So this was so we are. I think when people ask us, "Oh, you're recording timecode on audio tracks. How do you do this? Is it another kind of timecode, or you're talking about audio timecode? So what do you mean? How do you do this?"
Yeah.
It's basically the same kind of timecode. It's the same kind of timecode you are feeding into a TC in of a professional camera. It's the same type of signal. The only thing is that the level of the timecode, normally it's line level. And if you're using a 5D, for example, to record the timecode on it, then line level would distort the input, and so you need to have a possibility to set it on mic level, so that a camera like a 5D can record timecode, but the timecode is a digital signal. It's an analog signal transporting a digital information. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
An endless stream.
An endless stream. Yeah, an endless stream, and it's basically a square wave signal. It's around.
It sounds very harsh, doesn't it? It's like.
Yeah, it is, and that's also a problem if you recording it on a audio track, because it's because of the crosstalk to another channel. If you're recording it to a stereo track, then you have to be very you have to use good cables, good shielded cables, because it could, in bad situations, there could be a crosstalk to the other
But
channels.
if you use this signal on a camera, you don't need the other track.
No,
because
it's only for reference.
It's only for reference,
yeah.
Cool. Well, so it's obviously a main. I mean, talk us through more about the size, because the size of the tentacles. Actually, I have one.
Aha.
Okay, I didn't.
Well, they're kind of stolen, but just so
Ah,
guys,
you are.
yeah,
You still have them.
I
Yeah.
need to handle it back. I
This,
completely forgot. The
the
size of it, I mean, compared to my giant phone, let's say, is pretty good. And you have one there. Yeah, amazing. So talk us through. I mean, the size is obviously so. I mean, combined with the time codes. I mean, there's only one output that people are kind of using for kind of both types of time code. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
Yeah.
you can.
That's the reason why
Yeah.
we have this check plug, because it's very easy to make a in and out with the same circuit, with the same plug. Yeah, we can just show how it works.
Yeah.
So there are two modes. If you switch it on, if I press it for longer than 3 seconds, then it turns green. And in this moment, the timecode generator takes the time out of the second clock, which is built in. That's the time of day inside, and it's a normal clock which is running for years. If the battery is not getting completely low, but if you would play it in your bag for a year, then the clock would still be running. And yeah, if I turn in the green mode, then it has the time of day inside. And to sync it with a second device, second tentacle, you just turn it in the red mode. You just press for 1 second on the on button and just connect them with the check cable, and now they're in sync. And this just takes less than a minute, half a minute for setting. And now you can use it on your audio device or on your camera device, like Alexa or
Yes, Alexa.
or a 5D or a Fox Cinema Pocket or whatever.
Big camera.
Cameras with a proper TC in, or just cameras without a TC in. You can record this signal on the audio track, like you said. Yeah. So now they are in sync.
In terms of, I mean, they come in packs of 2 usually. Is that the idea? That's what
Yeah.
around. And what's the idea behind having 2?
The idea behind having 2 is a really simple one, because even if I don't know, if devices like audio recorders or cameras have timecode built in, there's still one problem. I mean, if you change the battery, if you power them down for a longer time, for lunch breaks or so, you sometimes have to resync them, and that's. I mean, with this one, I mean, you have seen it. It's in the morning. If you start this 2 generators like this, it just takes, I don't know, 10 seconds to sync them up. You attaching each of them to each device you're using, to the camera, to a sound recorder, and that's all you have to do. Set and forget for the whole day. And for the whole day, even in lunch breaks, I don't know, if you power the camera down, if you the Alexa has also a problem with losing time codes when switching to a slow motion mode and switching back again. and that's not a problem with Tentacle. You just it's because of its size and its price also. It's a timecode generator you can put on every device, and just set and forget, sync them, and put it on every device, and then you never think about timecode again this day.
Yeah. And that's the idea.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, you don't have to put it on every device. I mean, if you say, I have my sound devices 744T or something like this, and there is a proper timecode generator. I mean, it's an ambient generator. That is also really good. And you can just use one Tentacle. You can
also jam it
from the sound device recorder. Yeah, that's also possible. But we recommend just to use two because it's more convenient.
That's convenient. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I mean, when I've used timecode boxes before, obviously people are talking about drift and things like that. And so is it also that if you have two both outputting, that they will kind of drift in sync? I mean, is that also a possibility, or is it?
I mean,
what point they kind of fall off, because they, I mean, inevitably they all timecode generators do eventually, don't they?
Yeah. There is a high precision crystal oscillator built into the Tentacle. It's a temperature compensated crystal oscillator, TCXO. That's what all the TC box manufacturers, I mean, if they all claim they have a TCXO generator built in. So what does it mean? It's normally crystals drift not only over time, they drift over temperature. That's the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah? They drift over a specific temperature range. Yeah. And if it's getting hotter or colder, then the generator could run faster or slower, quicker or slower. Yeah, and that is the main thing that has to be compensated. And there are a few solutions for this. And the one old solution is to use a ovenized crystal oscillator. It's a really simple method. They are heating the crystal to up to a specific temperature.
Right.
I don't know. It's like 80 degrees. Yeah, 80 degrees, and there's a thermostat on this, and it's just 80 degrees, and no matter what the temperature of the outside of the crystal oscillator is, it's all the time it's
You're
operating.
not talking about this.
No.
It's not getting hot.
It's not hot.
Okay,
No, we are not using this. That's the old method. It's really precise, but the problem is it's consuming it's consuming a lot of energy. Yeah, it's you need a lot of batteries. Here is a temperature compensated crystal oscillator. There is a temperature. There's a part in the oscillator that is I think it's a capacitor that's temperature sensitive, and it's temperature sensitive in the opposite way. Normally the crystal would drift over temperature, but that's not so. We are claiming less than one frame in 24 hours. Yeah.
Cool. And a lot of the specs is this ppm.
Yeah.
kind of rating. So what is your ppm?
Yeah. Yeah, the ppm. We don't like this ppm thing, because I mean I could say it. It's it's half ppm, 0.5 ppm, but from the temperature range from minus 30 degrees to plus 85 degrees. And in this case, the worst case is 0.5 ppm. So if you are using this timecode generator, our Tentacle, if you're using this under normal conditions, I mean on the normal temperature conditions, not from minus 30 to plus 85 degrees Celsius, then the precision will be much more better. So it's
so it's giving you a broader
0.2 ppm or 0.1 ppm. Yeah. So if manufacturers claim they have a temperature compensated crystal oscillator with, I don't know, 0.2 or 0.1 ppm, then they have to state also the temperature range for what.
Well, that's really interesting, because I never really thought about. I mean, often in most other equipment, for instance, they'll say obviously the operating temperature, and I suppose a lot of people like me will kind of think, well, I'm not really going to be using it in minus 40, or I'm not really going to be using it when it's plus 85. But I guess it's talking more about the general fluctuations of how
and there's also aging of crystals. I mean, crystals have a lot more fluctuations that you say. It's not only over temperature; it's over voltage, supply voltage. If the supply voltage gets down, it's the crystal can be the oscillator can run slower. They have also aging. So aging per month, aging per year, and that's all this. That's the reason why we don't give this ppm things. We just say less than 1 frame in 24 hours, because that's what we can guarantee.
Cool. No, brilliant. But in terms of just quickly going back to the thing, with this 1 frame, let's say we use both at both for 24 hours solid for whatever reason, they would both drift equally. Is that also completely safe?
They should. I mean, if you're using them in the same temperature, if you're not putting the one in the fridge and the other one in the oven,
right?
Then we could say, they drift in the same. Somehow. I mean, it's really it's really hard to say. I mean, that's.
So it's
on the lab, in lab conditions, they should. I mean, it's.
We're probably getting way too like quantum physics.
It is precise like the other competitors.
Because we are not using other
in the end, it's
parts.
Same stuff.
Using. Somehow, I mean, there are not so many crystal oscillators.
There's other magic inside, not the same magic, but it works like the same. So, and it's precise for at least 16, 17, 18, 19 hours, but nobody's working. Should be work for
should work
so long. So it's it's really precise for a whole working day.
I mean, we wanted to make a really cheap generator.
Affordable.
Affordable is the better word. but we don't want to make trade-offs at the precision and the durability.
Yeah, yeah. Because again, it's professional solutions, right? Everyone's paying not to have nasty surprises. Just one quickly, we've had a comment from Jeremy. Just what time can they what time can they expect the drift to kind of occur? I don't know if there's a rough benchmark as okay, one frame for 24 hours, but I mean, should we still just be re-jamming at lunch anyway, or what are your?
No. I mean, that's really the worst thing ever should occur is one frame in 24 hours. But our measurements, I mean, we are working on this since 2 years now, and we have in our lab we have precise GPS clocks and rubidium oscillator.
How was the drift?
And the drift, the maximum drift was in 24 hours was 1/10 of a frame. Yeah, just not one frame. I mean, for 24 for 25 frames per second, one frame is 40 milliseconds.
Yeah.
And we have measured maximum 4 milliseconds.
So in short, one frame in 24 hours is that what we can promise, but it's much less. So we on the safe side is if we say it's one frame in 24 hours, it's the same like the others say, and but it is less. And
but generally, just to take just normal, I mean, standard practice, just for anything, I guess, is just to do it at lunch anyway, and then you can just be secure on your 17-hour day, let's say.
Jeremy has converted the 85 degrees to Fahrenheit, to 5 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Super hot. Fantastic. Well, I have a secret special guest of Vincent.
Yeah, Vincent.
Hi, Vince.
He had a story of how he got. Yeah, tell us the story, because I'm not going to spoil the story.
I think Vincent should tell us the story.
Okay, Vincent, take it away, man. Tell everyone where you're coming from.
You guys see me?
Yeah, we see you.
I'm living in Istanbul right now, and I think it's now 2 months ago or 3 months ago, a German DOP came here to shoot a documentary. I was the sound guy on that documentary, actually. Andre Jäger, I don't know if he's watching now. I think he's a friend of you, Max, or of Uli?
A friend of mine, yeah.
Yeah, you. And he brought these 2 small devices with him, and I was curious to use them, of course. We were shooting a documentary on Alexa, and I was rolling a 664 to record the sound, obviously. Normally, what I do is just jam the 664 to the Alexa, all both ambient, so that should be enough, you think, for timecode and things like that. But one thing was the Alexa had an ambient clock. It was not, I think it had to be served or something, so it was constantly drifting or giving errors and such. So it was very handy. We had those things with us. Basically, what we did in the morning, we jammed them together. One went into my bag, actually, just like Uli said, so I didn't have to re-jam after lunch or after a move of sets of locations. And one we slept on the Alexa, and yeah, magic happens at the end of the day. Everything was in sync, and we didn't had any problems at all. Timecode. So yeah, that's in short how we used it. And it was normally outside. It was to come back on the temperatures, 40 degrees Celsius plus. It's hot summer in Turkey. We even shot some things in sauna, in sauna, and I saw the temperature was there over 60, so even over 60 it worked. At the end of the day, the director wanted to view the rushes, so we used the software they provided us. Very easy to use. We just dumped all the ProRes files in there, all the WAV files from the 664. Press one button, and the director couldn't sleep that night because he could see and hear all the rushes perfectly.
No, fantastic, fantastic.
That's in short the story. And battery life, I think Andre sometimes forgot to charge, long days, things like that. And the next day, or because it was USB, we plugged it just to be safe in the car, driving to the location. Or we even didn't do that, and it all worked. And yeah, like there was a lot of things on, for example, JW Sound Group. People were saying, yeah, we need a external power option or whatever, and yeah, I didn't see that as a problem. If you have a sort of a rule for yourself, just charge at the night or before you go set again, like a sort of thing.
I think plenty of people are already charging their AA batteries and everything else they've got to do, so why not just plug everything in at once and then...
Yeah, exactly. If you really want, of course, because it's USB 5 volt, you can make some cable or whatever with a, how do you say it, a regulator to 12 volt or something, and you can power it from the head anyways. Or Alexa has all those outputs in 12 volt, so if you really want, you can use external power, I guess, for that.
And then we can all get to those 16-hour days that we're so desperately craving.
Which actually we had on this shoot. Still was going strong. So that's a shoot.
Thank you for posting on this closed Facebook group, because you were the reason why we're now sitting here, because after you did the post, at the same day, I got an WhatsApp message, and another sound guy from Malaysia, Alex Tong. I worked with him early this year for a week in Malaysia, and I had the Tentacles with me for my prototypes, and he was also excited about, and he liked it, and he saw this in this closed Facebook group of sound engineers. And he sent me a picture. Hey Max, what's going on? Are you selling this? And you didn't tell me about. And I said, well, what's this? And then he sent me, show me some more, and I can't get into this group. And I saw the conversation, and that there are so much people, sound engineers, sound mixers are talking about and wondering what is it, and so yeah. It was great to see, and this was the starting point for us. Okay, come on, let's do this. Let's go onto market more earlier than we thought about, and so now we're trying to
I think I asked Andre, is it okay if I share this online or whatever, and he said, yeah, sure. I think they will like this.
Yeah, it was funny, really funny for us. I remember.
No, fantastic. I mean, it's even just obviously you're both camera background, right? So how did you decide to kind of just take this forward? Was it literally just based on, well, there's a demand here and I have an idea, or did you already have sort of, I mean, just explain your background in terms of being able to, because most of us would probably like to just be able to think of a product and then suddenly, oh, yes, and I'll just put it together and build it in my room, and here we are. But yeah, just tell us a bit more about the background.
Okay, Max and we have both studied cinematography here in Dortmund.
And we finished this year.
And we finished this year.
After 14 years, after 8 years. Finally.
Yes.
We got our diploma.
We got our diploma, yes. I wrote my thesis about timecode. And I mean, we are working
as cameramen for a
really long time, and Yeah, but we also doing. I mean, we are. I mean, both of us. We are somehow of. We are doing not only camera. We know how to handle sounds. We some yeah we sometimes we edit.
So it's like the full.
So we are knowing the whole process. We are knowing the whole process of filmmaking, not just doing camera.
And we know that it's a really pain in working with DSLR cameras and sound. First I thought about making it must be easy, and there must be a way, and there was a way there on the market. There were the length logger from Ambient, and I used them, and it works really fine. But this big brick on the camera was definitely too big and heavy and bulky for this small handy camera. And so I got the idea. It would be great if you just have a really tiny thing on a thing on the camera, and you have nothing to do, just to turn it on and do nothing, and then it's everything in sync. And then we thought about, we have different plans, taking the time from other sources, and it's complicated because we had a lot of steps to get to this Tentacle now, and there were five versions.
Five versions. I mean,
and after idea, I remember, hey, there's Ulrich. He's a smart guy. He can program and.
I've also studied. What is that? I don't know how to call how it's called in English. It's electronics. Electronics. I've also studied electronics for a few semesters. Yeah.
Right. Well, that definitely all helps, doesn't it? That's amazing.
Yeah. But I have not finished that. But I mean, I was always interested in electronics, and
you like the idea?
Yeah, I like the idea.
We met here in this on Carnival 3 years ago, and then you immediately instantly started to work on it, and
but I thought it would be in the beginning. I thought it would be really easy to build this. Yeah. Okay, it's a stupid circuit, just timecode. I mean, timecode is not
doing a clock.
Yeah,
hey,
doing
a clock.
Doing a stupid clock. And then we are getting into it, and I realized, okay, that's more complicated than I thought before. And we improved it over the time, and doing another. The first version you have worked with, it worked really well, but it had some problems.
Right.
We improved it over the time, and that's Tentacle now. Yeah, I think it's a really it's a product that can. Yeah,
it has to be on the market now.
Yeah. And we thought about not building another timecode generator, not building another box that looks somehow the same like all the others. We really wanted to think about how to build a timecode generator that is different, smart. Yeah, it's
no brainer.
Yeah, no brainer. It's like we thought about building a generator like we want to
work
use.
with. Yeah,
we want to work.
And
with.
We are cameraman.
And we are cameraman. I mean, maybe that's the reason why this thing looks like this, and not like, I don't know. I mean, like. Some sound guys wanted it to look like, because I know some people complain about the mini jack some people complain about the internal battery. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. That's the main reasons. Some people say, okay, why don't you use another jack and another connector, or why do you have an internal battery? Yeah, but
So the question,
advantage.
yeah, but what we see it as a feature, not as a drawback.
Yeah. It is definitely.
oh, it's good. So I mean, the idea obviously behind the internal battery is just to keep keep its form, right? Otherwise, you've got another 2, 1 double A's.
Really. That's one reason. But we think, but I don't like, and I think you too. We don't like this mass of battery, just half
used.
half used batteries and throwing them away and changing them for new, just for safety. Yeah. Just on the next day, because you don't want to use.
I don't know how long was it running, and I can put a new one in.
Put a new one in. Yeah, and I think that was also a reason for us, just because we are tired of buying and changing batteries.
So one charge lasts for 40 hours. This is around about 3 or 4 working days, and you can charge it. If you charge it for a half an hour, you can work for a whole day.
And as Winston said, you can charge it in the car from your phone charger. Or
on IDX brick V-mount batteries, they nowadays have USB plugs.
Fantastic. Well, another thing probably that people are commenting on is that there's no screen. It's very intuitive, as in this is the only button.
It's blinking red. Sorry.
in terms of how is it going to? What do I need to do to change the frame rate? How do I know the time? Well, I know the time code's jammed because of the LED, but let's just talk us through kind of frame rates.
Frame rates.
In a moment, we just have the setting application on the Mac. There will be another one for Windows, but the main application app will be will be provided for your smartphone, Android, or iOS, iPhone. Maybe or not for Windows Phone, WinPhones, Windows.
Oh my God!
Does anyone?
We will see. We will see.
Yeah, I mean, we really would like to make.
So it would look like.
Okay. It would look like this, and it work. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going. Oh yeah, kind of getting something there.
Like this.
Turn the
you plug it in via just via a headphone cable, a headphone jack cable.
Yeah.
So because we are using a 4-pin connector, we are using the 4th pin, because the 4th pin is for the microphone inputs of the phone.
Yep.
And I mean, timecode is basically, as I said, analog signal transporting digital information, and that's the same method. We are transferring the data from the phone into the Tentacle, and from the Tentacle into the phone.
Right.
And so we are not using USB for this, and this is a really cute thing, because you can use it on every phone. This type of data transmission, and for iPhone and for iOS devices, we don't have to use the USB or some of the other interfaces, because for that you have to be part of the Apple developer program. I don't know. That's it is very convenient. It's very convenient. Yeah, and the cable you have always with you.
Yeah, because you need to sync the devices.
It's a sync cable. Yeah, you have it always with you.
And
I mean, just commenting on having it as because obviously when I've been looking at it, I've just had a little test with the Mac software, and I was kind of thinking in my mind, surely they're not going to expect me to bring a Mac. So it's really good to hear about the this kind of mobile app. It kind of makes sense that everything is kind of there. So the idea being that you would set the time code on your phone, and that would be your sync platform.
And you don't need to set up it every day. You just need to set up it for one setting. So if you're working for 1 week with the same setup, or for a longer time with your recorder and with this camera, then you don't need to set up it every day. So you just need to set up before you change the.
If you change, if we
the
would like
camera
change
or whatever.
the frame rate or something.
Frame rate.
Yeah.
In Europe, you suddenly.
I think in Europe you have to
25.
change it for 24.
Yeah, for
yeah. But,
Can I ask something regarding this? You guys hear me?
Yes.
Sorry.
We do.
I think I know the answer already, but just to make it clear to all the people listening, if you, for example, have a 664 or a 788 or something in your bag, and you jam the Tentacle sync from that, so it slaves basically your recorder, will it take over the frame rate as well?
Good question. Not yet, but when we, on delivery, when we ready, because I would have it built it already in if I had time for this. But it's technically it's possible, and it will be definitely.
And this is a really good idea.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah,
and he will bring it in.
No.
Your £20 is in the post.
No. For daily use, that will eliminate the use of a laptop or device.
Right. It will. You're right. Yeah. That's really a great idea. Yeah.
It is. And so it's getting more smart.
Yeah, it's getting more smart. Yeah. So we want to basically avoiding all these setup things. We just want to make a timecode generator you can use and trust, and you don't have to use a menu, a tiny small menu with I don't know, a lot of buttons and sub menus. We think you don't need that, and if you dip switches and screwdrivers, and so we think if you have to change something at your with your timecode generator, you can conveniently use the smartphone app, or you can do it with your computer.
Fantastic. And we just had a question kind of from the forum from Jeff, the king of JW Sound, and he's just asking. He says first that it's amazing, and he's loving it, and he's just wondering how the funding's going. And I guess I'll put a link to your.
Yeah. That's good. It's also a good question. That's
at the moment we have a little repression. Is the right word?
Yeah.
But sure.
Yeah, I mean we.
So we're doing this the first time, and we really had.
We are no business people. Yeah, we are just cameramen. Trying to get our idea to market, from which we think that it could be interesting for other people as well, and and I think we have started it a bit too fast. Too fast. We maybe we should have
more time in for preparation and
for public relations, also
for marketing.
And it's but first of all, I want to say that it is really amazing that, I mean, okay, we have, I don't know, 30 33,000 euros
Yeah,
from 90,000 euros, and it's really a great thing to see that so many people are trusting us and buying a product that is not available available yet. I mean, we have only a prototype, so they have to believe us that we can make this thing exactly in this way how we advertise it. Yeah. And I mean, they don't know us at all. Yeah, I mean, some of the people who have bought this thing on Indiegogo, they worked with it and they are convinced, but
And fans.
yeah, and fans. But other people, they are buying a product they don't really know, but they have to believe us. And I think that's a big thing for us to see that, I mean, even if we can't reach that goal, that so many people are believing in this, and that we could make this happy, that is making this happen. So and if we can't reach that goal, and I think
was not a question.
Yeah, that was not the question, but I think that's what
Well, we're going kind of
indirectly. This was the question. Yeah, how is it going on with the crowdfunding?
Well, also what does happen if, I mean, because looking at your page, it says the fixed funding, for instance. So if you what
all or nothing. It's all or nothing.
Because the point is that we need this amount of money for starting producing it, and not to spend a lot of own money into the project, because at the moment we don't have the money by ourselves. We already spent all our money into this project, so we need this amount of money to work and on it.
To produce, to make it, to produce it. To produce the first batch of tentacles, and this money, some people, I read in forums that some people in German forums, that some people say, well, that 90,000 euros, that's really a big amount of money. So
they want to get rich.
Yeah, they want to get rich. And this timecode generator is only really cheap. It costs, there's a chip inside. It costs $4 or something like that. Some people wrote about it. I mean, we have no one. We have. Never announced what chip is inside this generator.
Maybe there is no chip inside.
Maybe there is no chip. I don't know. It's magic inside. No. But
I opened the box and I saw a beautiful chip inside.
Damn! You opened the box. Okay.
Yeah, we forgot to clue it.
Yes.
No, you'll let all the people do the work inside the box.
So we know that there are a lot of people outside, and who would be love to have it and to work with it. And there are a lot of people who haven't worked with Timecode and with the workflow we created with the software, or with the Tentacle and the editing unit like Avid or whatever. And it's really hard to reach
our audience,
our target groups. And there are a lot of target groups. First, we thought that our target group are people like us, owning a DSLR camera and doing some own videos on the computer, and or small production companies and all this DSLR guys and girls. But now we saw that a lot of sound engineers, sound mixers, sound recordists are totally crazy about it, and they love it. And so we have a lot of people who would like to work it, but we haven't reached all of them. So we have just a handful of people who bought this so far or pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's we need more time to reach them, or we haven't reached the big multiplicator on blogs. We wrote a lot of people, and we had some good reviews, but we didn't have it on a big blogs and magazines online. So yeah.
Well, I hope I'm doing.
But we work on it. Hey, there are also 2 weeks to go, so I think I have a good feeling that in the end we will get
for
this.
Tentacle under the Christmas tree.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
they will blink synchronized.
Yeah.
you can have them as fairy lights, can't you? One red, one green, you know?
Red mode,
Hey.
green mode, yeah.
But in terms of, I don't know if you, it's just another point from Jeff in terms of, have you looked outside the sort of crowdfunding thing? Have you looked into any other sort of investment showing that you've got, I mean, you must have at least like 100 orders or something like that. So
yeah, that's true.
demand, but also maybe, what's my question? It's just kind of where did the essentially where did the goal amount come from? Did it just come in terms of just you need a place to build them? You need to build so many to make it cost effective, or
Yes,
just talk a bit more about that.
The last thing is a very important point. Or we need the amount, especially amount to build them. Yeah, you can't just build 100 of them. Yeah, because then every unit would get much more expensive.
We forgot to say that we completely want to build and assemble and produce it completely here in Germany. So okay, the parts are coming from the processor from the US, some parts from China, whatever. But we will make it in a small factory here in Germany, and we will assemble it here, and we will ship it from here. So it's and that does make it more expensive than going to China and producing 10,000 pieces and So
and they don't work.
Small amount, handmade and solid.
And the biggest amount of the 90,000 euros is just for the production costs. Yeah, it's just the parts, and I mean, if the one is for the PCB, building the PCB, and the housing. For the housing, it's a plastic housing. You need to make a form for it.
The mold, right? Is it like injection?
The mold, yeah. And and this has to be done, by hand. It's just there. That's was heißt Beruf? It's it's very expensive to make this molds.
Yeah. You don't have a form just to crack them out.
Yeah. So and the other thing is that most of the money, or a lot of money, because this is a price including VAT, the taxes. The I don't know, the VAT, it's called VAT,
Yeah.
And in Germany it's 19%. So this 19% of these 90,000 euros going to the to the German.
Well, the tax.
Yeah. So and it's 6% is for Indiegogo, 2%,
3% for
PayPal,
and
so this amount shrinks and shrinks and shrinks.
Yeah. And I guess the more you kind of want as well to hit that target.
We already spent a lot of money inside, and so in the end we want to get to we say a black O. We want to, yeah, the money we spend in, we don't want to have debts after when we start producing it. So that's the reason. Yeah, what we come to this 90,000 euro. It sounds so much. It would be much.
You have calculated it.
Yeah.
Trust
We
us.
Trust us.
No,
Yeah, no.
But this 90,000 euros is really least amount of money we need to make.
Okay, that's not the argument for the people. The argument is that if we have the chance to produce it in this way, afterwards we have to make it more expensive on market. People buying it because they're
bulk, right?
Yeah, distributors they take 20% or more, and so it will get more expensive. So if you buy it now, it is the cheapest price you can get
it. Yeah,
for this device. So
yeah.
No, well, it's fantastic.
It's still only bird if you pledge now.
Yeah, that's everyone who's watching, I put in the description of this webinar video thing. No, I put the Indiegogo link, so you guys can go there and check out all the different options and things like that for that. Just as a quick plug. There's just one question from Christian who asked. It's kind of referring back to syncing up both the devices again. And it's just if one is mic level, if you need one in mic and you need one in line, can you do it? Can you do it at the same time without any recorder? I guess is that just you would do that through the phone app as well? You'd just be able to take the phone.
You should use the phone app, to do this.
But normally, if it's if it's on the line level, the output, you can also put it into the camera or in a camera. It will still work because the limiter is good enough to put the level down in the camera. So
but in the his example, it was just to using, for instance, the 5D.
Oh, he's lost.
He's lost. No internet in.
Oh, Winston is still
London.
there. Winston is still
Vincent.
there.
Oh, good. Hi, Vincent.
We have lost Matt.
Okay, what he wanted. Christian asked. There is Mark. We can replace it.
Here is again.
I don't know what happened there. That was very strange. And I was saying some really deep stuff. No, right. No, what I was saying is, so if you don't have a recorder, then essentially you would just you would use your phone. Your phone would become the recorder, and everything would be solved. Yeah. Cool. So we're kind of approaching some sort of natural end, I think. Well, actually, there's one more thing of just talking more about the software and kind of the back end and having the complete kind of workflow kind of done, because I know sometimes when you when there's multi-camera shoots and you ask people, or I certainly do, actually ask people, do you want timecode? And they always say yes, because that's really easy to sync. And then they get to the editing, and then they'll call you up and they'll go, I'm using blah 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 software. How do I actually sync this up? And you're kind of like, well, what? Okay. So just kind of talk us through, well, I guess that's kind of the idea of why the software came about, to make it a complete thing. But just talk us through what you can do with it, and take it away, because I'm just rambling.
Okay.
It's just for the syncing, type software.
The beginning of the software, of the software development. First of all, we wanted to make a timecode generator, and we did this, and
we saw that it's probably working with Avid
Media Composer.
And the workflow was great. Everyone was happy. But what
But-
about the other?
Yeah. But we
editing systems?
lent some of the tentacles to other people, and they said, we are
Oh,
using
damn.
Final Cut. We are using Final Cut.
That-
How do we sync this timecode thing in Final Cut? And so I had to say, okay, Final Cut, that's somehow a problem.
There's a
need
plugin
there's a
for
plugin for $250.
$50.
It's AuxTC. AuxTC. This is the only plugin that reads audio timecodes and
But it
translates
nothing
it to
more than
metadata timecodes. Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So, and I thought about just writing, the same kind, somehow this software. Yeah. I thought, okay, that's not too difficult to write a software that can read audio timecode, and embeds this timecode into a metadata of a QuickTime. And so this was the first version, but this was not syncing the software, not syncing, just reading timecode and translate it
and bringing into the file. Yeah.
Right.
And after that, I experimented with more QuickTime things, and then the idea came up. Okay, we can read timecodes. I can write QuickTimes. I can read audio and video tracks, combine them. Okay, why shouldn't we do a syncing tool? Just all-in-one syncing tool, and that was the idea of the sync software. And because the editing systems, because even if you for Final Cut, especially, even if you had files with timecode, it's not possible to sync it in batch mode. You have to sync them up a file per file. So you have to choose the one video file and the one audio file, and then you can sync them up automatically. But you have to do this file by file. And I think, I don't know exactly, but I think it's the same with Premiere. Premiere, yeah. So only Avid Media Composer does a batch syncing. So you can just select dozens of clips, say auto sync, and then it matches up perfectly your files, and then it's in sync. And we wanted to make this available for people who are using other editing systems.
Yeah, no, fantastic.
Or you just it's a brilliant tool for after work or in the evening, if you have the rushes or the files on your computer, you can just drop the files into the software, and you can watch video and audio instantly in sync, and you can see the time code inserted, and it's a great tool. If you work for weeks on a documentary, you're somewhere in a jungle in the woods, you can in the evening you can watch them without an editing software.
It's like what Vincent was saying before. You got a question, Vince?
Yeah. Well, one question I saw on Jeff's sound group was if I know it works with ProRes files and obviously H.264 files from 5D, and one question was, does it work natively with the RED's R3D files?
Yes, not yet, because we need to have a license from Red to use their framework. But okay, we are working on this. We are working to offer more, even more file formats. This is not an easy task to do. to implement more file formats. I mean, if you're looking on that from the outside, you should say you say, yeah, what's the difference between R3D and QuickTime movies? That shouldn't be so difficult to do, but yeah, at the moment we are just focusing on because the problem is this syncing software. Yeah, it should take a lot of input files and should make a lot of output files, file formats. Yeah, and the problem we have here is that to support all that input files and all that output files could result in a really complicated mix-up. Yeah, because some people, someone using this with red files, and he has a Nikon camera, and he wants to use it for Final Cut X, and this could be there are so many combinations of input and output files. We all have to be aware of that. It's that the workflow is perfectly
okay,
yeah.
In short,
So
but if we reach the goal,
yeah,
he will work on it for the whole winter. So if not, I don't know.
For the whole winter, yeah.
Don't know what we do then, but
No. So our thing is, I mean, we really want to implement all that file formats, but we have to do it step by step. So we don't want to offer a lot of file formats and for input and outputs at the beginning, because we can't guarantee that it's working in every situation. We have to build it up, and so at the moment we are only have support for QuickTime files and MP4 and I don't know the standards files for.
AVCHD.
Yeah, AVCHD or something, or broadcast wave files. And if this is working perfectly, then we are adding more and more and more support for other files, because otherwise this could be frustrating for people in somehow, in a way. Because they are using this input files with this output files, and this, yeah, it's really. I mean, it's nearly an editing system we are programming there. Yeah,
and we are really open-minded. So
yeah.
if there are coming good ideas, we will bring it in to, and so yeah.
Yeah. So we are working on this. And Reds is definitely red files are definitely on our list, and also all the major editing systems. Yeah, but it's still a work in progress, and yeah, I don't know.
But to maybe help you a bit with that, like what Jeff Wexler was asking as well, is there is some confusion as to whether syncing has to use the Tentacle sync software. You don't have to, right?
No, you don't have to. No, you really don't have to. You really don't have to.
Timecode, yeah.
Yeah.
Other way around, you can just use the sync software with material
yeah.
without using Tentacle the
Yeah.
Tentacle. So,
like for example, in my example with this documentary, we use DaVinci Resolve to sync, or the editor used DaVinci Resolve to sync everything. So if there's any flavor your software doesn't take, for example, the R3D files, you can use the normal software you use every day, or the editor uses every day.
Yeah. So we are using industry standard SMPTE timecodes, and we are so it's timecode. Even I don't know if it comes from an ambient locket, if it comes from a timecode body. or
Or our other friends.
other friends. So our software also works with other timecode generators, and our timecode generators also works with other software. So because
compatible.
I think it's just demanded, isn't it? In today's world, everyone wants everything to work with everything and just be able to plug and play and just let's just get on with the job of recording, I guess.
It's an open system. It's a really open system. Yeah.
And it works really good for 70 years.
Yeah, really.
No, it's great. And Jeff just posted again, by the way, just saying that you should use DAW Sound to try and get more of the message out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
I think generally, just coming back to the point of the whole, because of crowdfunding, generally always in the last kind of, at the start, everyone's like really excited to get in. And then in the middle, they're kind of sussing out what's going on. And then at the end, when it's like, there's a clock in the corner counting down. Oh my God! And they, then they get into action. So it's pretty good.
So yeah, this will be the fastest way to produce. If it's not working like this, then we have to see how to get the money for producing. But there will be a way, but then it will take a longer time, and so yeah, we wish that this is the way we can start with.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
Pre-order and tell
Yeah,
your
don't
friends.
think about so if anyone is watching us and thinking about buying a Tentacle, now is your time.
Yeah,
oh, a new contribution. Oh
New
no,
contribution.
just a comment. Oh.
Well, full of comments. We still have questions.
Yeah.
So why are you using a 4-pin line connector? And that's from Christian.
Oh, who's asking this?
Yeah, Christian. It's just scroll up there.
The Christian.
Yeah. I'll repost the question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Please answer it.
No problem. The 4-pin connector. We are using this 4-pin connector in many different ways, and in many different ways, only this 4-pin mini jack connector can be used. Okay, the first thing is these connectors have the possibility to detect if there is a connector plugged in or not. So we are using this function. We are using the 4-pin connector has also the possibility to check if there is a 4-pin or a 3-pin jack plugged in. We are using this function, and we need 4 pins because we want to use the iPhone or the smartphone app feature, and therefore you need 4 pins. And we're using the 4-pin connector because it's a standard cable. It's just and it's a standard, really standard connector. And if you are losing the cable somehow on a documentary shoot in
the jungle,
in the jungle, I don't know. I mean, there's a chance to get a mini jack cable
at the next kiosk.
At the next kiosk, I don't know. So we are using, and it's also a cost decision, because we wanted to keep the costs down, and I mean it was basically designed for 5D
DSLR users.
DSLR users
They have their own DSLR and don't want to spend much money for
and
spend money for a time generator.
And for this, this is the ideal connector. I know that there are some drawback. That there are some people complaining about this, and this
Oh,
connector has some drawbacks. I mean, it's not. We really would love to make. We really would love to build in a connector with a thread, so that you can lock it.
Yeah, lock and connect.
If anyone find us a plug,
a
connector for our device, he will get 4 of this for free.
Whoa, big thing. Wow.
This would be so great if you would find this, because then we would build this in.
Yeah, but with the right quality, not only any
China people, none of this.
But I can say from real-world experience, I had this one in my bag, just bundling around. We had one on an Alexa, and it got its fair bit of abuse on set because it was a documentary, and never the angled connector was metric. I think both the connector as the thing in the device itself, it never popped out.
Yeah.
So for 99% of the jobs we do, it's more than sufficient. This non-locking.
Because if you're using this Neutrik, the Swiss Neutrik plugs, that's what we are recommending to use this Neutrik plugs. Then it's a really solid and stable connection, and we are also recommend to using a right angle plugs. So I mean, if you can see, I can pull here, and it's not.
Yeah, you don't.
Basically, sometimes for my back, like you do right now, and running around, and nothing happened. I can see.
It's like everything pulls out at once.
Yeah, with the right force.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
But a lot of people work with it, and now first they thought, they were complaining, no, that is crappy shit. But in the end, after working with it, nobody was complaining.
And Jeff makes a good point, saying that it also keeps keeping the cost down, right? As well as keeping the actual form nice and small. It's keeping the cost down. It's using all the functions anyway. It's not like you're not using all the rings, so it seems like it's fit for purpose.
Yeah, it is really.
There's just a question from Jacob saying, in the development of the device, did platforms like Arduino play a part? And I believe that's it's like an electronic prototyping platform.
No.
No.
It's completely not based on open source hardware. It's because Arduino could not you can't do this with an Arduino, because you need really precise timing, and you need
Aha. Secret sauce.
Secret sauce. Ist das jetzt das? Okay. Yeah. That's.
I hope you haven't seen the
No.
Get the chips and
It's because with an Arduino you can't really do this really precise timing. Or I don't. Yeah, no. I think it's not possible to do it with an Arduino.
Uli was working for it on it for 2 years, and
So
it's a nice piece of hardware.
It's I mean, what's basically inside this thing is I mean it's a microprocessor and some external parts. It's
like in every other device.
Like in every other device, like in your phone, like in your DVD player. I don't know. I mean, it's somehow the same today for every smart device.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to kind of add to it. I just looked at the clock, and some of these crazy people watching have been here for like an hour and a half. So they're the same people.
Crazy.
They're watching the feature film of Tentacle Sync.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's if anyone if you want to say anything else or any more inputs, anything more to input, I should say, rather than getting into.
Maybe it wasn't for me. It was not really clear. But what if you guys cannot, how do you say that, come up with the crowdfunding, or the people are not coming up with enough money to fulfill? Are you guys going to stop with this whole thing, or are you going to try a different way to?
Yeah, the problem is if you say now, yeah, no, Tentacle, we will make Tentacle anyway. Then no one goes for the crowdfunding. So we have to say that if the crowdfunding will not be successful, there will be no Tentacles at all at no time.
But it's also your point about getting it for the best price, right? Because it's not only just starting off the whole process, but also that if you can make so many in a big bulk, then it's just going to be the cheapest, most cost-effective way.
Yeah, the cheapest price, definitely. This will be the cheapest price possible you can get your Tentacles ever.
And so, in terms of, I know you've got the deadline. I mean, the sort of distribution, sending them out. Whoever's pre-ordered from the link below the video, whoever's ordered it by February. And so, what is your rough timescale for? So, in 2 weeks, your campaign ends. I mean, what's going to go on to actually just suddenly take this off?
Yeah, we ring when the campaign will be successful. We phone our contract manufacturer and get this.
And he starts the machines.
Yeah, then he starts the machines. Yeah. And
and have you already? I assume you're already talking to people and just trying to.
Yeah, really. I mean, we have talked to a lot of people, and yeah, I mean, we have was heißt denn Angebote einholen? Das weiß ich auch nicht. We have talked to all the manufacturer, for the housing and for the PCB and for the so
make sure it's all possible. Right?
That's all. I mean, that's all done, and yeah, we are just waiting. To make it, yeah, I mean, we're just making to make it happen. Yeah. So it's, I think there, yeah, we have everything prepared.
Brilliant. Well,
to start production.
Well, let's just kind of, yeah, we need to. I think everyone's questions are roughly being answered. Yes, if you. Sorry, some people aren't seeing the link below. If you refresh this video, we'll still be here. It'll obviously just refresh and delay. And then you can click on the Indiegogo page or just Google Tentacle Sync Indiegogo, or go on Indiegogo, or there's a million different ways to do that. So just to kind of, I mean, sum up really, because it's been an hour and a half, but we kind of sum up. Well, we talked about why doing timecodes through an audio track is nothing necessarily new, but it's a really nice feature, especially now DSLRs have come out. And then also giving you the capability of just having this one nice, neat plug. And again, if anyone finds a locking connector for this that can work, then you get 4. Is that right? Is that
4 pin? Yeah, 4
pin.
4 pin. You get one for every
one for every pin.
Yeah, one for every pin. Yeah. It needs to be a 4-pin connector, because many people have written us showing us, here is a nice 3-pin connector. No, we need a 4-pin connector, and it has to be mountable on a PCB. That's
okay, so it's a lot more complicated than just going down to Maplin or Walmart or anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And so, and then we were just talking about how you can obviously sync these two together. So you have usually two units, and that's usually just so you can essentially just run them independently for, say, two cameras, or you can use your recorder, or you can feed your recorder, or your recorder can feed it. It just makes it a lot easier to work with. Is that right? Do you want to? Sorry, I'm kind of summing up and then asking just for like final thoughts in a way. In terms of.
Okay.
So the reason why we have two. Tell us that.
The reason why we have
This
two.
was a question.
Yes, sorry.
Haven't you asked this before?
I have, yeah, but we're just quickly summing up.
In one sentence.
Just as we kind of finish and there's no more questions.
The reason why we have two.
Yes.
Yeah.
To just make it easier, right, for syncing multiple devices. Is that right?
It is the most convenient way because you can just sync them in the morning, put it on each device, camera and recorder, and you can leave them there for 10, 12, 15, 16 hours, and you can be sure that it's completely and absolutely in sync the whole day. Even if you change the batteries, even if you make lunch breaks for 4 hours, if you have the time, and put the batteries out of, and you can also do a firmware upgrade in this time. You can be sure that it's perfectly in sync. So you don't have to sync it again after lunch break and think about maybe, I don't know, I'm not really sure if my device and your device is still in sync. So you can be sure that both devices are completely in sync. So that's the reason why you can.
And you mentioned as well about the temperature. I mean, we can go up to like 85 degrees Celsius, which is just insane, or below -30, and it's not going to work all right, which is great. And as well, what else was there? A really interesting point just about the temperature and how temperature actually affects timecode, which is kind of a new one that I haven't really thought about before. It's just really nice that it's still sort of one frame within 24 hours anywhere in between those temperatures, which is just insane.
So at the moment we have two guys are working with shooting a documentary in Russia and in Siberia. And they were also working at outside at -30 degrees, and they told us that the footage is absolutely in sync, and they were working for days from inside outside with there was a cinema pocket camera from Blackmagic and the H4n recorder, and they're absolutely happy, and it's absolutely in sync. So it was our first.
I think those devices will die sooner than your Tentacle device in those circumstances. Like a Blackmagic camera, or even the sound devices or an Alexa will die sooner than the Tentacle device.
They bring it all together.
Yeah, it's great. No, that's fantastic. And what else did we talk about? Well, we just had a bloody good chat about why Tentacle Sync is pretty awesome, and everyone seems on the comments board be in favor of that as well. I think we've definitely covered all the questions so far. If anyone has any last questions, we've just gone over the hour and a half mark of this blockbuster.
Yeah.
And you can also write us an email or on Facebook, and we will. We hope we don't. We see every email and every message, but we will. We really like to talk to our audience and people who want to buy this, and anyone who has questions, you can ask a question, because
And
we're really interested in what you think about and what your concerns are. Sorry.
And your website is tentaclesync.com, is that right? People can Google Tentacle Sync. There isn't another. No, there isn't another Tentacle Sync. No, brilliant. So, without further ado, I guess that's it. I mean, yeah. Thank you for you three coming on. And this is kind of I mean, to give some sort of background to why I've started doing these kind of webinars is just because I really want to just get straight to the people that are actually making the products, and it's just getting the word from kind of the horse's mouth, but not necessarily having like a sort of easy, let's say, well, not like writing it down, but actually having a dialogue to be able to get all these questions answered in a kind of the same format without having so many different voices coming from different sides. And I think it's been pretty successful, would you guys say, in terms of, I mean, we've come up with some more ideas, we've even had a competition, spontaneous competition, which is amazing. So I'm looking forward to getting you guys back closer to the time as well when the deadline approaches to click below, and we'll have another chat to see how it's all going.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Any more final words? I don't want to like kind of end this and then someone will go, oh wait, Vincent, anything else? No. What are your thoughts? Sum up everything we've talked about. Hour and a half.
My thought.
Yes.
Yeah, for me it was all known, of course.
Well,
yeah, it's a great thing. Like I said, I'm one of the few who use it in a real life situation. With my circumstances were 40+ degrees, and it all worked perfectly. And the small thing and such, it's all great. I'm looking forward to get one, use it all the time.
Yeah, fantastic. And from the two kings, any last words for everyone out there? You can say essentially this is a goodbyes.
Yeah.
So what are your final words for them? You're still on a slight delay on the old computer.
Midnight.
Here in Germany, it's midnight, and we are a bit tired.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. So any final words for anyone out there?
Yeah. And I mean, I think we are not good in final words.
No, but we really like to do this. That's we are cameramen. We started this project, and now we want to finish it or to start this new career as
career.
Maybe this is beginning of a beautiful career. I don't know. And Vincent, thank you very much for kicking us and for giving us the boost to do this and start this in this proper way. And yes, we hope that we will convince enough people that we can do this journey. Yeah. I would really like to do it. Is this the final word?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, I'm slowly ending it. I don't quite know how to, this is my first one. We had trouble trying to start this thing, and now we're having trouble trying to end it. So, it's just,
automatic cut.
I'll just read the comments again. The final comments is just saying, Jeff saying it's the best thing about it all is it helps the double system stay alive. Jacob saying he loves the chats. Lots of people saying they love you guys, and it's all good. So I think that's it. I'm going to draw it to a close. So I'm going to say goodbye, and you can subscribe to this channel, and I'll try and come up with more webinars with lots of other random interesting people such as yourselves, and I will arrange a date with you two for having another webinar a couple of days kind of before closing, just to see what work you've been doing in between with all these new ideas. And if anyone has won that competition, again, the competition is to find a locking 4-pin, what is it? 4-ring connector.
Take our word.
We promise.
Slightly regretting maybe saying 4, but you know. Anyway. But no, fantastic.
Tomorrow I want to have at least 100 emails in my inbox.
Yeah, 100 emails. What is your email address? I'll write it in the comments.
Yeah, it's info@tentaclesync.com.
There we go. That is written.
Yeah, that says.
Oh, I'm not allowed to put. Right, I put it in the description because it won't let me post random links and junks and everything like that. Okay. Right, so it's going in the description of the video, everyone. Tentacle Sync, you can Google them, check that out. I am going to do the right thing and press stop. I want to thank Vincent and thank you, gents, from Tentacle Sync. And any more questions further to them, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Let's get more interesting chats going, and I'll see you all soon. So everyone now has to wave goodbye as we look into the Tentacle Sync logo. Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye.